Well, beautiful but cool afternoon and evening at our beaches. Folks coming from out of town, visiting from Florida, Georgia, wanted to make a little stop out there, get a look at the ocean. Everybody I'm seeing out there's got long pants on or a layer, 64 degrees certainly, but those winds make it feel a good bit cooler, and it will stay that way even at the beach with those west winds kind of pushing that cooler air all the way out to the sand as well. All right, so taking a look, I want to touch on Hurricane Melissa, which will be impacting Bermuda more and more as we go through the evening, whether or not making a direct landfall. It still will be putting some hurricane impacts, right? So it looks like it's going to stay to the west of the island nation, but we do have hurricane warnings there in place. That cone, very tight, confidence very high, going to continue its trek up and towards the Canadian Maritimes over the next day or two, and no longer will be a story that we have to really concern ourselves with once beyond Bermuda. So let's come home. Let's take a look at our current temperatures. Mentioned we are at 64 at the beach as well as Jacksonville International Airport, 66 there on the river at NES Jax as well. Got to get a pretty good ways south before we find the 70s. You got to go all the way down to Flagler County. And I tell you, Brunswick has been just hanging in the 50s all day long. You've been a good bit cooler, so the layer necessary there in Brunswick. And look at these winds now, really picking up, really freshening up. We've got 15, we got 20, so 15 to 20 coming out of the west and northwest. That's what's pushing all that cooler air in from the Plains states, and cool air that originated in Canada making its way all the way here. In fact, over the last 24 hours, we're about 10 degrees cooler here in Jacksonville than we were this time yesterday, 13 degrees cooler in Waycross, and that trend just continues. Looking at our next big weather maker, so we mentioned that small chance of rain Sunday. Notice that we have moisture around us, but it doesn't look like very widely scattered showers, numerous showers. It looks more isolated in nature as we get into Monday at this point. But I will say modeling has been doing the whole windshield wiper routine, going back and forth with rain chances for Jacksonville. So we're going to watch Monday, southeast Georgia certainly in particular, but most of this moisture will be moving up in towards the Carolinas. So as we look at your Friday, low temperature 44 degrees for Halloween. 69 is all we'll be able to muster as we go through our day. Then as the sun goes down and we get into trick-or-treating time, those temperatures will begin to fall quickly. So the little younger trick-or-treaters may need the extra layer underneath the costume, maybe a sweatshirt, as by the time we're wrapping up trick-or-treating and coming back home, could be in the 50s for all locations around our first coast. Tailgate forecast, you're starting early, you're in the 40s. You're definitely going to need something to warm the spirits. And even as you walk into the game, don't leave the layer at the tailgate spot. Take it with you, because while we will be at the 70s for game time, we're going to be dipping quickly once the sun goes down. 56 is your normal low, 77 is your normal high for Halloween. So take a look. We're going to be much, much cooler than normal. I'll put that into some historical perspective for you over the last couple of years, because it has been hot. We are really cooling off there for your Halloween forecast.